Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is Earth Mother Rising, and we are doing the February pick a card reading. We're going to be doing 3 piles again, and my 1-year-old has been teething for the last several months. So once that settles down and he's actually sleeping, I can dive into, I'm hoping to add a 4th pile here in the next couple of months. But for now, I'm doing my best with self-care. So we're just going to go ahead and do 3 piles today for the month of February. So I don't have my chimes today, so I'm going to use the sage. Clearing the energy. Taking a deep breath. 3 cleansing breaths as you close your eyes, thinking about which deck, which pile best serves you. When you open your eyes, use your intuition to pick the pile that best serves you. If you feel yourself drawn to 2 piles, then start with the first one that you're drawn to, and then after you watch that video, maybe part of the next video will be for you. As you know, this is a reading for many people, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Sometimes some of the cards are for specific people, so if certain parts of it don't resonate, just use what resonates for you and take the message that works for you. I want to give a shout out to a Facebook friend of mine. She is a very talented artist, and what she does is she can get your origin picture painted for you. So she was spot on for me. I absolutely adore this painting. It gives me a sense of home every time I look at it. Being a Syrian starseed, this really resonates, and she also gives you a paragraph description. So although my origin was Sirius, she also explained some of the other linkages like Lyran and Andromedan. So those resonated as well, as those are part of the collective that I channel. All right, so we are going to dive into pile 1 here. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. And just a disclaimer, I use different decks for different piles. So what I do is I intuitively pick the deck that has the energy that best serves the collective. So this deck is the Divine Feminine Oracle, the Archangel Oracle, Crystal Mandala Oracle, the Dragon Oracle, and of course the Tarot. So I'm going to jump into the Tarot cards first. You got the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. So let's start with the Queen of Pentacles. So this is being read from Tarot Made Easy by Nancy Guerin. Tarot is something I am still studying. I do much better with intuitive oracles, so bear with me as I read through it as I'm still studying. So, the Queen of Pentacles. The focus is on hopes, wishes, and aspirations, verification, and tangible results, comparison for or service to mankind or the ministry, finance and profit, and or a person with an Aquarian type temperament. You want to establish yourself, to find your center or place where you belong, and for words, prophecies, or ideas that come to light. You're going to meet or be attracted to a very unusual or striking person who will be just as interested in you. And your general guidance: keep following your star and you will get your wish. You may have to wait, but what you want will come. Things are working out better and faster than you think. And problems that look like mountains will prove to be molehills. Clarify your objectives, and when faced with a circumstance you previously would have bent under, recognize it is an opportunity to be a cause instead of effect, and press through it. You will attain some results for your long, sustained efforts, but you'll have more to go before major results can be realized, or you're firmly established in the place you want to be. And next we have the Nine of Cups. And this card is your focus is on highly charged emotional events related to personal affairs and material well-being, such as love, career, food, shelter. The focus is on highly charged emotional events related to personal affairs and material well-being, such as love, career, food, shelter, security, or health. You want personal fulfillment or gratification and to keep the faith in the ultimate workings of good despite appearances in the contrary. You will have success in attaining what you want, but it may take another form than what you now envision, and you will be satisfied with what you attained or accomplished. General guidance. The past is not a barometer, so don't resign yourself to that's the way it is and it will never change. Anything is possible. There are no mistakes in the universe and all things work for good. Withhold judgment for now and don't make premature evaluations. Your wish will be realized, but only after you thought it wouldn't be, and in the form in which you will be filled will probably change. So this is interesting. These cards are very similar. So definitely you're going to see things aligning for you in February. They may not align in the way that you predicted, but they are going to align for you. And there's a lot of discussion around keeping the faith, believing it's going to happen. Even if there's a couple bumps in the road, know that the end result is going to be what you looked for and that your efforts will be rewarded. So what a wonderful message for this pile. So let's tap into the oracle. So I loved that there was a lot of divine feminine energy in this group, meaning this you may be working on your divine feminine side in the month of February. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this. Zhao Shejing, I'm sure that's not how you say it, but the mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge, the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. So to me, this is saying if you are at peace and your mind is clear, you're going to have all these ideas flowing through you with effortlessly. So these are very similar in the sense that you're tapping into your inner wisdom and you're just trusting this creative process. So just like the tarot was saying, you've been making the effort, but now it's coming into that trust and letting things flow to you. Again, because the tarot talked about how it might not look like the way you thought it would. So let's just trust on, even though it might not be the way you thought it would, it's still going to come out in your best and highest good. Perpetua, the saint of authenticity. I am authentic self in all circumstances. So in order to have things turn out the way that you want to them, whether this be in career, relationships, a new venture, be sure to be your authentic self. A lot of times, we keep the faith, we keep the peace. So we're trying to not hurt anyone's feelings. So we maybe dumb down our words or, we sugarcoat everything. We walk around the bush per se. So being your authentic self is going to be the way that you're going to be most successful moving forward. When I see the color gold, I think of the divine. So you're going to be really channeling source energy in order to be your authentic self. All right, we're going to tap into the dragons. Green gold dragon from Sirius brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Wow. So this is interesting because the Divine Feminine card was self-knowledge and then being authentic. So, and then, that authenticity card was about bringing in source energy. So yeah, you have a lot of new information coming to you from, the highest good and from your deepest divine wisdom. And when it says learn about spiritual technology, to me, that is saying, learn about what ceremonies, practices work best for you. And then once you find this out, you're going to be sharing this with humanity to increase the collective consciousness, the level of collective consciousness. So for example, I'll give you an example from my life. So my guides have been drawing me to a couple series, television series that are on the Gaia TV. And one of them is Cosmic Disclosure. And then I'm blanking on the name of the other one, but it's similar in the sense that it's like all the new, they have guest speakers in many different topics that are relating to elevated consciousness. So for me, what the tool is Gaia, and listening to these spiritual teachers, and as I'm growing and tapping into these new inspirations and knowledge, I'm able to make them my own and then help my clients. So find what works for you in the sense of, what are you being drawn to? Really pay attention to the messages of what's coming through, of where to look and who to look to, but also remember that so much of it is within you as well. So make sure you're spending time in meditation. Here the earth to me and the green is saying, make sure in meditation to stay grounded and tap into that inner wisdom that you have within you. We also have the air dragon, helps you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. Again, communicate honestly, and we had authenticity. So, and then of course, self-knowledge as well. So like as you're communicating these new truths, do so honestly. Again, don't sugarcoat, don't beat around the bush, speak your truth. Remember that we can still speak our truth, and then we can learn new information, and we don't need to be embarrassed. Like, oh, hey, I learned something new. My perception has changed, and that's okay, right? We don't have to stick. In fact, when I see people who have been doing things exactly the same for 30 years, the same teachings, the same messages, that's all well and good, but you're not evolving, you're not growing, you're not incorporating new wisdom. So communicate honestly, and when you get to these new higher perspectives, you'll notice that things change quite quickly. You get these new inspirations, new hope, new ideas, and your perception changes, and that's okay, because we're going to be rising above and collectively growing and evolving as the human species. To do that, we need to shift our thinking quickly, right? We're not going to sit with ideas like, for example, the law of attraction. We're not just going to, just visualize and then it'll manifest, right? We've learned a lot more about the law of attraction, for example, and people are coming up with new ideas, making it their own, evolving and making it their own, right? So take those inspirations and create your own beautiful vision and speak it out to the world so others can grow. Because remember, not everyone is going to want your perspective, and that's okay. But if you will change, even if you change one person's life with communicating your wisdom, that makes it worth it. All right, let's tap into the Angel Oracle. All right, we have career transition, and you are safe. Career transition is Archangel Chamuel. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. You are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. So some of you may be going through a career change, or this could also, to me, this is also saying just change in general in your life, right? So it may be a component of your career as you incorporate these new ideas and this new wisdom coming from source. And anytime we're in a transition, we want to put a protective orb around us of safety and protection. When we are very connected to source and we are changing and adapting, that's when we want to put up extra protection. Because sometimes it can just leave us a little open because we're really diving deep into these, higher dimensions and higher frequencies. And finally, we have the crystal mandala. Karmic Grace, Ascended Master Serapis Bay, and Clear Calcite. And then we have Angel Khalil and Polychrome Jasper, Sacred Play. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Sacred Play. So while you are transitioning and bringing in these new ideas, getting more creative, speaking your truth, bringing in this source energy and wisdom, and potentially going through a career change, or it just changes, you're adapting at your job, maybe getting a promotion or maybe moving to a new department, you're going to want to be playful about it, right? And being playful, activating that inner child, having fun with the experience, right? Because we take life so seriously, right? And that's what gives us that anxiety is, I must do this right. And in this new position, I have to do it right. But we have to give ourselves some grace and have fun with it and see these challenges as joyful learning experiences. To me, this is also, we have red and blue and a little, it's kind of like I would say that's almost peach, but with the root chakra, again, stay grounded during this experience. And blue, the throat chakra, speak your truth. Speak your truth. You might have a new boss, you may have new colleagues, but do not fear. Again, be your authentic self when this happens. If you have a new group of friends, you're maybe meeting up in groups with new people instead of a career change. Speak your truth. Be your authentic self. Start off on the right foot so you don't have to go back and all of a sudden change who you are and be authentic, a year down the road and catch everyone off guard. Just be who you are here and now. And finally, finishing with Karmic Grace. To me, this is saying, all of this is in your divine best interest, right? So again, the tarot was talking about maybe little bumps in the road, but it's all going to come out to your highest good because you deserve it, because you earned it. This is also that self-worth, that self-love, and knowing, because it's kind of like a silver, divine, diamond white light. And this to me is like the 12th dimension, the highest frequency, bringing in source. So you're going to be really transforming for your highest good, and to remember to give yourself grace. You deserve it. And it's not narcissistic to say, I deserve this, I am worthy, I am loved, I am proud of myself. So shift into that energy, knowing that you deserve all these new wonderful things coming to you. On a side note, you might want to pick up some calcite or jasper to help you with this experience. You'll also notice we have master number 333 and 444. So Joanne Sacred online, you can just search angel number 333, 444, and she has a great website. I'll link her website in the comments below so that you can find out a little more about those master numbers. I hope that reading was helpful for you, pile 1. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. This is a super colorful reading, so you guys are going to be aligning and activating your chakras in the month of February. But before we dive into that, let's start with the tarot. You got the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So let's start with the Six of Cups. The focus is on environmental change, comings or goings, short trips or jaunts, friends, lovers, relatives, nostalgia, work, or employment. You are following your own star or listening to your own drummer and have a unique or special wish you want fulfilled, such as phasing something out in favor of another. Special guidance. Happiness can come from many sources, whether it's one you've named or not. God works in mysterious ways. Just because no one sees things the way you do, or things don't appear to be working, don't think that this is real and God or the miracles is not. Cultivate a habit of applying your metaphysical knowledge to your everyday experiences by turning within instead of barricading the infinite with stress, and it will become more real to you. Relax and let ideas come to you. When the right one comes, you'll know it. Things are going to work out better than you anticipated, and an unexpected twist of fate will be a turning point for you in the attainment of your goal. Next, we have Page of Pentacles. The focus is on employment, profession, and status, scholastic or romantic endeavors, mental labor, practical idealism, and dynamic efforts, and or a person with a Capricorn type of temperament. And general guidance. Realize the futility of effort. If something is meant to be, it will come on its own accord. When you stop seeking, searching, or expecting, it will begin to happen. Since you're not the cause and are powerless to change what is happening, it's futile to be upset. Be willing to listen to or act upon new ideas. You won't want something that isn't right no matter how much you want it. And you won't give up until you get what you want. Okay, so this is interesting because it's almost like, the Cups card, the Six of Cups said, cultivate a habit of applying your metaphysical knowledge to your everyday experience by turning within. And then this Page of Pentacles is when you stop seeking, searching, or expecting, it will happen. Okay, so that can seem conflicting, but what I'm getting from that is in February, start off by, in the month of February, start off by going within. Allow things to come to you and meditate, take in the wisdom, right? And as you're doing this towards the end of February, you can start taking more action. But that's only because you have this new insight from going within and taking in this metaphysical knowledge. But let's jump into the oracle just to get a little more clarification on that. All right, so I'm going to start at the top. We have the Beloved, the Gatherer, Wind, and the Tree of Life. So I'm going to start with the Wind, because to me, this Wind card is about, following the breeze, right? It's like going with the flow, allowing. And at times there might be a gust or it might be really slow and steady. And so just trusting and following this ebb and flow, which to me connects with what the tarot were saying. Wind can also be bringing in new ideas, bringing in a transition. So it might not happen in February, but at least it's like the winds of change are coming for you if you do the spiritual practice. Because again, here, this Beloved card with the heart, it's hands holding a heart. You're going to be going in and activating your heart space and allowing these new changes, these new ideas, this goal that you have. Feel it in your heart with your whole being. Know that it's coming. It's just going to take that mental practice and, going in within and planning. Get out a great plan of what this goal is and steps you want to get there. But know that the wind might blow it in different directions and throw you off course. But you're still going to get what you want in the end. Because here we have the Gatherer card, right? So I'm going to bring this forward because it's very beautiful. So it's like the harvest, right? So you're going to reap your rewards. You're going to be able to collect your harvest after you do the work. And you'll see the feathers here. When I see feathers, it's like, I think of like owls and ravens and, that just like the wisdom coming in, the ancient wisdom that you're going to be tapping into to help you reap these rewards, right? And fall is also a time that we begin to go within, because winter is when we sort of hibernate and everything is kind of like divine feminine. You're just collecting wisdom, you're going within, you're hibernating. So the fall is like you're just starting this process, right? You're still going to reap your rewards and harvest all this beautiful, abundance in your life. before having to go within again. So just know that this is coming. The harvest is coming for you. We also have the tree of life. So to me, to reach this goal, you have to be grounded, but to transform, you see the butterflies, to transform and reach the cosmos and your highest self and your highest good, you're going to have to stay grounded, but do the work to grow, right? So get into the sun, get outside, start tapping into nature and let the ideas flow. And honor the tree spirits. You might want to sit by a tree, touch a tree, meditate by a tree. Tree holds so much wisdom because they have been on the planet for such a long time, just observing and holding space and transmuting toxins into wonderful oxygen, right? So they have the power of transformation and transmuting negative energy into positive energy. So spend time with the trees this month. Yes, for many of us, it's very cold, but bundle up and get next to that tree. All right, so these are the crystal mandala cards. Her golden grace, goddess Lakshmi and Detridic Agate. I am totally butchering those names, but you can see it there. And then we have goddess Tara and Tibetan quartz, her eyes ever open. So this is interesting. So again, notice the divine feminine, her and her on both cards. So that tells me again, it's like that energy, the goddess energy of going within, creating a plan. It's not quite the time for action and to reap the rewards. So you might feel yourself really, agitated and like, oh, I just want this to happen. And it needs to happen now. And it's just that, remember, give yourself grace. Give yourself time. Breathe and relax. Trust the divine timing. Agate to me, agate's very grounding. It's very earthy. So make sure, again, just like the other card, the Tree of Life, stay grounded. And you'll see things really expanding for you, more wisdom coming through. And also giving yourself grace in this process, right? So to me, gold is sort of like divine source energy. It's the highest frequency that you can have. It reminds me of the 12th dimension. So golden grace is really that divine love, that self-love. Love yourself through this process and know that it's all going to come to you, but you're just doing the work, right? You're going within, you're spiraling through those shadows, doing that work. You're going to see patterns coming up and you're going to have new insights, but it's going to take time, right? Because growth takes time. Her eye ever open. Okay, this is definitely talking about your third eye, right? Okay, so we have kind of some indigo-ish colors to represent the third eye. So maybe get yourself some Tibetan quartz and throw it on that third eye. And maybe get some agate to put at your feet to ground you during this process. You're going to want to listen to third eye music. So I just YouTube third eye activation, third eye healing frequency. Any of that will do. Binaural beats for the third eye. Also, you're going to want to cut out fluoride. Make sure you clean up your diet, trying to eat as many organic foods, jumping with a green smoothie or juicing, getting some celery juice, cilantro, lemon, all that good stuff. We really want to decalcify the third eye and activate it. This might be one of your special points. For example, like a lot of us have certain chakras that are part of our mission and purpose here. And so your third eye, the inner wisdom, the inner knowing, you might just like know things about people or situations, or you might know things before they happen or have this intuition about things. You might be able to see beyond the veil. You might be able to see shadows or spirits, or just see when someone's lying. So really tap into this third eye during the month of February. Do some cleansing, do some healing, and trust this intuition coming through. And finally, we have the Sacred Power Oracle. We have Energy Balance and Animal Kingdom. Okay, so as I said earlier, this spread, you'll notice your cards, there's so many colors. So you really want to focus, yes, on the third eye, but notice we also have red, we have yellow, we have oranges, we have greens, we have blues, purples. So really focus in general just on activating and aligning these chakras so you can reach this goal with clarity. And don't be afraid to ask the animal spirits to help you. You might find more animals around you. Be very mindful. Look to these animals. Maybe a raven will, come really close to you, or a squirrel, or an eagle will pass over, or you'll see a deer. These animals can help guide you. So I think it's Trusted Psychics is the website. I think if you just Google or search, I've been using DuckDuckGo more lately, and you can just search spirit animal, and then type in the animal that you see, and then you can read up on what this animal is trying to tell you. And you'll notice in these cards, these animals are kind of, I call them the power animals. They bring in a lot of strength and courage and bravery. So when you're clearing out these chakras, you might have some debris. So when we kind of, let's see, for example, like when you're sweeping dust, right? Sometimes it gets more messy before you finish up the cleaning, right? Because it kind of maybe like blows everywhere and it gets on things, and so you're actually kind of creating more mess before you actually finish cleaning, right? So you're going to want to be patient with yourself and call in these power animals to give you strength, courage, and wisdom. As this debris sort of gets rustled, you might have, you might be a little extra emotional. You might see some anger popping up. You might be tired, depleted. You might even have physical symptoms, right? So sometimes we get like a sore throat or a headache. So just be really mindful. Give yourself that grace and allow yourself to cleanse these chakras, open up a pathway to bring in this third eye intuition, and love yourself through it. And you're going to be able to reap the rewards and harvest all these awesome new insights that you gather during this experience. So group number 2, you've got some homework. Enjoy, be patient with yourself. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. This is most likely our Lightworker Starseed pile. So if those terms are new to you, look them up. If they're not new to you, welcome to your pile. For the tarot, we got the 3 of Cups. The focus is on self-improvement, self-healing, nourishment or recovery, self-realization and self-love, social interactions, the effects of others, spiritual awakening, and or animals or pets. And your guidance for the 3 of Cups is get clear about what you're striving for or what you want to represent, and know the supply will meet the demand. Whatever you choose will be the right choice. This is a highly impressionable and sensitive time because you're operating on the emotional plane and your body is in tune and susceptible to all kinds of new sensations. But a healing will come, and a feeling of peace, grace, and gratitude will follow. Be willing to run the risk of failure, give your ideas a shot, and don't allow yourself to be intimidated by others. Great improvements will be made in many areas through your decisive action, and in strife you may have suffered in the past is going to end. So this is interesting. This pile only had 1 tarot, so but this is great. You're going to be working through these new healings and finding yourself in a place of peace at the end of February. So that's exciting. All right, so let's dive into the oracle to get more clarification. So here we have the Starseed oracle. We have empathic Starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours, the golden children, inner child tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Okay, so in the month of February, you want to be very mindful of your empathic gift or, sensitivities, because the tarot also talked about sensitivities. So you really want to be putting a protective orb around yourself, maybe using protective crystals, call upon the archangels or your galactic or soul family, and just envision yourself protected by light. I like to use a golden orb lately. It reminds me of like the 12th dimension and this, keeping myself protected from all the collective drama and trauma and things people are releasing, to keep myself kind of just away from it all, right? And we want to still experience things, but being empaths, we want to make sure that we have the strength and energy to do so. And it says absorbing what's not yours. So just be really mindful. Are there people in your life who are, taking a lot of energy away from you? It might be a time to think about a new friend group, or maybe take breaks from people. And this is not like you never have to go back or you're not friends or whatever. It's simply that you are respecting and having enough self-love and boundaries to keep yourself in your best energetic self, allowing yourself, it's like that. Everyone knows the analogy of fill your cup first, make sure your cup is full before you start pouring out for others. So we have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Okay, so again, that's interesting because I said golden orb of light. So, you have access and connection with very high dimensional beings, and you can access this through your inner child, through tenderness, innocence. So to me, this is saying you might be doing some inner child work during the month of February. You also just have that light spirit, right? We get so serious sometimes in the spiritual community. We want to evolve so fast and work so hard and get all these checklists checked off. But sometimes we just have to have fun, right? If we're always working and creating and doing, we can get burned out. So take this time to just enjoy your inner child and have fun. Do something fun and crazy in the month of February. Try something new that you haven't done before. All right, clairsentience. Archangel Raguel. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Okay, so this is interesting. This kind of aligns with the empathic starseed card. So yes, be very aware of how you're feeling and notice, are you setting your boundaries, or are people constantly, coming to you and it's overwhelming and you just give and, notice that. Are you, or maybe perhaps you've kind of gone into hermit mode and you're maybe ready to come out, just be aware of your patterns. Take note, write in a journal, keep an eye on those reoccurring patterns. Also with the emotional feelings, writing down, what are these emotions that I'm having in the month of February? What emotions keep coming back? Okay, for example, are you feeling restricted and upset? Are you feeling tired and emotional? And really dive into meditation and follow your heart. Notice the heart is fully activated here. Jump into your heart space and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Because a lot of times we spend, blaming on others, right? Like, oh, it's because of this and that, or this person, or my job, or my boss, or my kids or my husband or whatever. But honestly, in the age of Aquarius, we're going to really take ownership over our feelings and why we feel the way and how we can change it, right? We can change our reaction. Maybe we can't change the situation. We can always change the situation, but maybe it's going to take some time and some thought. So be very aware in the month of February of your emotions and how you feel physically, whether you feel drained, and take note and make the shift, right? Make the shift so you're setting those boundaries, learning about yourself, and taking ownership, and you taking the action needed to make the change. All right, we are going to get into these Earth Warrior Oracle. We have Medicine of the Rainbow Jaguar. I can't pronounce that. Ikjel. We have Ketaki, Guardian of Papatanaku. So I'm actually going to put that aside. I'm going to look that one up in the book. I am not as familiar with that one. We have Sage of Higher Knowledge, Amuta. Okay, notice these cards are very much rainbow. Both of them have the heart activated, and we have 2 power animals, and this one has some other animals as well. Okay, lots of feathers here as well. So you're going to be tapping into the medicine of the rainbow jaguar and higher knowledge. So to me, this is saying you are going to use this higher knowledge and the wisdom of the rainbow medicine jaguar to align your chakras, clear out your chakras. For February, we're going to be really focusing on clearing out our chakras and using our heart space moving forward to be fully in our wisdom for the collective and for ourselves. The owl to me represents ancient wisdom. And here we have the hummingbirds. That often, represents lightheartedness, kind of the inner child, change, fast-moving change. And the feathers, again, it's kind of that like ancient wisdom. And you might want to add feathers into your practice, or maybe wear feathers in the month of February just to further activate the chakras to align with this new wisdom coming in. Here you'll notice the moon. And to me, the moon, again, is that divine feminine going within. So this seems to me very much, again, a part of like that journaling practice with the moon and the divine feminine. Going within, writing down your ideas, versus, there's not a lot of there's actually no divine masculine energy in this. Everything is female. So this is very much like going within. It's this rest period so that you can move forward in March with all this new wisdom, these new ideas, and take more action. All right, we have the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Ascended Master Jesus and Rose Sophia. Meaningful Sacrifice. Ascended Master Hilarion and Green Chrysoprase. Discernment. Okay, I know I butchered all those names, but you can read them here. Okay, to me, this meaningful sacrifice. So, as you're setting these boundaries, as you're creating these new ideas, as you're activating the inner child, you're being very mindful of your feelings. You may have to sacrifice time for other things, right? So you may have to put some relationships or friendships on hold, or you might just have to be very aware of taking time for yourself, right? And so sacrifice doesn't have to be a bad thing. Here you'll notice it's a lot of the orange, the sacral chakra. So you might want to really tap into that like self-worth. I am worthy of this time for myself. It is not a sacrifice in the negative. I am sacrificing time in order to dive into my self-worth and release guilt and release shame. Also here we have discernment. So this is your green, this is your heart space. And the heart space was activated before. So in the month of February, make sure you're really following your heart. As you're releasing these old patterns, you're setting your boundaries, you're being very aware of your empathic self. You're going to go into your heart space and use discernment as to who you should be around, what you should be reading and listening to, discerning your truth, right? It doesn't have to be someone else's truth. It can be your truth. There's going to be a lot of things coming out to the collective, a lot of new information. Filter it through your heart and take that time for yourself. Sacrifice that time for yourself to do so. All right, so let's look up this card here. It has such beautiful imagery. Just with the imagery, again, I'm seeing, this to me reminds me of feathers. And then here she's totally activated with source energy, going right into her third eye, activating that intuition and wisdom, and all her chakras are fully aligned. But let's tap into what this card means. So this is Alana Fairchild. If you're not familiar with her, has very detailed, amazing oracle cards, so many different topics, so many. I mean, she's got so many, if you're into animals, or, I've got the crystal oracle here, or she's got sacred power, sacred feminine, there's all sacred rebel, like all these very, there's like one from Asia culture, there's a whole bunch of, and Egypt, all kinds of stuff. So look her up if you don't know Alana Fairchild. All right, so this is card 10. I'm just going to read the first part because, as you can see, this is very long. Okay. You are Kataki, guardian of the divine feminine. Your relationship with Mother Earth, Papa Tunaku, is sacred, empowering, and healing. You are destined to become more spiritual, intimate with her, sharing in her creative potency and wisdom. Lean into her and trust her support. Even as you serve her by courageously voicing truth, she is your great ally, friend, and healer. And as you dedicate yourself to her, she dedicates herself to you. Wow, this is perfect. This is a great way to wrap up this reading. You had a lot of divine feminine energy. You're going in, you're activating your heart space through Mother Earth, setting those boundaries, being aware of your patterns, and Mother Earth is going to help you with this. And I love this. Lean into her and trust in her support. A lot of times we think we have to do things alone. So in the month of February, be sure to find those people you'll see here with the tarot card. Find your tribe. Find those people who will salute you, who will fill your cup, who will respect your boundaries. You might find a small tribe of people to align with and help you on this inner journey, to bring out your inner child, to help you with your empathic abilities, help you find tools to release the stress and trauma of others. Month of February is going to be a very healing month for you, so enjoy the healing process. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of.